Welcome to your morning cup
with iBenz Academy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Ash.
And we are back!
Woo! We're back! Where have we
Oh,
been?
yeah. Well, we've been on holiday.
I sound different. I was on a different planet. Kind of, actually, sort of. I have been.
Yeah.
Not officially. But...
Why do you sound different, Ash?
Well, I got sick for a little while. I even lost my sense of taste.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. No, it really was sad. It was a sad day.
You got sick too, along with Inelia and Larry. Everyone's been sick. Well, not everyone, but you were part of that sick phase.
Yeah.
For reasons that will be explored. Not on this
I'm sure
podcast.
we'll figure out at some point. Not there yet. I don't think I have a full reason as to why yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe 5G. Maybe who knows what.
Yeah.
Maybe it really was on another planet.
Well, we're glad that you're feeling better now.
Me too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
But before getting sick,
Yes.
where were we?
Cancun,
Yes.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Woo.
And why did we go to Mexico? We didn't go together.
Well,
by the
we
way.
didn't go together. No, we just do what we do, together or not together.
We twin. We can't help it.
It's true. We can't. Well, I went to Mexico because I met somebody there I didn't meet the person there, but I met up with a person there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, I think to explain that part, I probably should go back to 1985 when just kidding. But to go back to the instant manifestation workshop last year we just had our anniversary.
We just had our 1 year anniversary.
Woo! Shout out to our instant manifestation alumni. Hey.
OG. Original.
We even had a little anniversary call. It was so sweet.
We did.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I think we're going to keep doing that too.
And it's
fun.
amazing what we've manifested in the last year.
It is incredible.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's what we'll talk more about today. So
one of my items was to manifest a high frequency husband.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's an item that I've been working on actually for a really long time and have been extremely unsuccessful at.
We found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
Yes. It's like if you were highly incompatible, I would have dated you. But if you were highly compatible and high frequency, I wouldn't have even seen you. You would have just been just not even right past me. Wouldn't even know you existed.
Gosh, those spirals, man.
Yeah. So with the workshop, that was my one of my items, and I really honed in on the wording and the details of what is it I'm trying to manifest, and then I started doing the process, right, of figuring out, so why do I not have this item now? And I found definitely some firewalls. Lots of programs running that were basically counter to having a husband, counter to seeing people who were high frequency or compatible or interesting or kind or just a good fit. And so, yeah, I spent the last year working on that one. Sometimes I drop it. I'm okay, I'm going to take a break. I've done a bit. Now drop it. But there were some pesky programs that really stuck around. One in particular, I think, was an unworthiness program, being unworthy of love. And that one's been around, I think, for many lifetimes. So that was really nice. So I started to focus on it and release it. And it was a couple months ago. God, I can't believe it was just a few months ago.
Yep.
Where I was working on it. And all of a sudden I had this realization one morning. I was up really early in the morning and I had this epiphany of the fact that I only was dating men who were incompatible husbands. So in my time at the time, my verbiage for it was oh, I've only been dating men who could be lovers not a husband, right?
Big difference.
Big difference. Yeah, because, like, you know, a lover you go on a great date with, you go to dinner, maybe you go dancing, and then, like, see ya. You know, I'm going to go back to the rest of my life. I'll see you next week,
Right.
you know, when it's convenient. It's not unity. It's not sharing your life together or anything like that. So, yeah, had that realization. And then in that moment, once I realized this, I then also realized, wait, that's not what I want. I want deep love. And I truthed it and kind of scanned that, like, okay, wait, is that what I really want? Can I go the rest of my life, like, just like with deep love, one person? Yes, totally, 100% be very content and happy with that. Oh, okay, great. And then boom, my honey's name came into my mind.
Wow.
So all of a sudden in that moment, I thought of him, and he's somebody I've known for many years now because he's a member of Walk With Me now, and we've done work together. I never saw him like that. I just never thought about him in that way, and wasn't even consideration of mine. So then that moment, like, boom, instantly, right, it pops into my mind, his name, out of nowhere. And I go on to Walk With Me Now just a little while later to kind of see what's going on there. And I see him Walk With Me Now. He had just posted to start up a study group for the relationships course. So it's the Love, Sex, and Soulmates relationships course by Inelia. And I thought, oh my gosh, isn't that freaking cool? Like, how much, like, sexier can that be? Like, high frequency awake leader? Like, I don't know.
Yes, please.
Exactly. I was like, whoa. And he's starting this group and everything. Like,
For all the men listening, high frequency awake women love proactive high frequency leadership. Just saying.
yeah. Might be, I don't know if you have to be, like, a leader to love it, but I love it. Yeah.
That's true. Well,
still, it's good.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Especially for the new paradigm.
Yeah, exactly. So then I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like, he just started this thread and he's starting this study group. So I reach out to him and I'm like, hey, I see you're doing a study group. And I'm thinking, I don't think he gets it. Like, this is just like, you know, oh, it's just Ash reaching out. No big deal. Like, he doesn't get that, oh, Ash is into me. I don't think that had crossed his mind yet. So then, I, like, later in the chat that day, I said something to the effect of, it's so funny because this morning you were on my mind, and then I got on to Walk With Me Now and I saw your post. And then all of a sudden it's like, I could feel like, you know, if I could see his ears perk up and be like, huh? Like, that's what happened.
That was the moment.
Yeah, they, like, perked up and he was like, wait a minute, I was on your mind. So he did ask a couple questions, like, follow up to that. It was kind of like scoping it out. Like, what do you mean testing the waters? Like, in what way? And then it became obvious and clear that I was into him. So we then decided, we obviously have formed more of a relationship and a romantic relationship, and then met up in Mexico. And we were in Cancun, and he proposed to me.
Congratulations.
Yes. So we are now engaged to be married.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Instantly manifested a husband.
100%. Like, I don't even know, like, it's amazing how fast it happened and all of this, but it feels so right because it's like, if I hadn't done all that work ahead of time, then I could see where maybe I would be nervous, or I would maybe doubt, or I don't, just hesitate even. But there's, like, none of that, like, whatsoever, because it's like all the work was done beforehand. So it's like I knew everything that was unfolding, and everything that was put into this manifestation is high frequency. And I have my allies, and just doing all that work ahead of time, which took time. It took time. You know, we hit our year anniversary, right? But the moment that I opened up for it, boom, it came in. Like, it couldn't have been faster. Like, split second, his name's in my mind.
Yep. And this is how the instant manifestation process works. It's like, how instant is instant? Well, on one hand, you and your co-creators and the human collective have been orchestrating a story or the right people to play the right role for the last, whatever, billion years or the last lifetime or 20 years or 5 years or whatever. It's like these people don't just pop out of thin air.
Yeah.
Or the item we want just doesn't pop out of thin air. It could, but we're not at that place with rules of engagement yet on the planet. But time is like non-linear, so these things are happening at a bigger standpoint, at a bigger sense, but then it's like when our frequency shifts and we allow it, because really the only thing stopping us is ourselves. So when we really switch it on, then the things manifest seemingly instantly in our lives.
Exactly. It's like, okay, you know, like in a way it was almost like I allowed the dam to open.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, all right, let it flow. And I allowed that to come into my life.
Yeah. And we've been doing the work, right? It's like, I mean, I guess theoretically we could just sit around and not do anything and manifest things. It's true. But then we would have those things and we wouldn't want them, you know? So, like, there are programs that, like, get in the way of it all. But, I mean, you've been doing the work for a long time. And even just the basics of, like, fear processing and then working on, like, firewalls and all the programs around relationships. It's not something that happened overnight.
Oh, definitely not. And I have my allies for sure. For sure. Because I definitely would have been with some of those... What's the saying? Like, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. I would have been with a lot of frogs. You know? If I didn't have my ally saying, he's a frog. Pass. Keep moving. You know? Just because the programs I had running said this person's great. Yeah, this is it. But that was not it, because it was a potential, but not a high frequency, highly compatible, what I was looking for. Right. So it's like, yes, that is a manifestation, to manifest a frog, but the frog isn't what I actually wanted, you know? And in that analogy, I wanted the prince, right? So then it took, okay, what do I need to do to be able to see the prince?
Right.
And it was all about me and adjusting, like, my programs and working on that rather than the rest of the world and everything outside of me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so funny because Inelia and Larry have, like, the pretty much same story. Like, Inelia couldn't see Larry for years, and he was like another girl to him, you know, one of the gals. And then one day, boom, she sees him. But behind the scenes, you know, is doing all the work. She downloaded the information for the Sex, Love, and Soulmates class. She actually did it, and had her allies, this, that, and the other. And then one day, just, oh my gosh, Larry's a man? And a handsome one. Whoa. It's just,
what?
It's so funny, right? There are these people in our lives, and sometimes we don't even see them.
Yeah.
Until we do, because we allow ourselves to. Or drop the low frequency programs that make high frequency incompatible. It's a funny thing.
It is a funny thing. Yeah. Do you have any instant manifestation items you'd like to talk about?
Oh my gosh, so many. So, there have been quite a few that I've been working on. The husband one is part of it. Also went down to Mexico to explore a high frequency relationship. I'm not engaged though, but I feel like that story is unfolding. But either way, there's 3 manifestations I've been focusing on a lot. So when the workshop started, I was your roommate. I'd wanted to buy a house in this area for like a few years now and just wasn't having success. And long story short, 6 months later, or a couple months after the workshop really, I manifested buying a house literally next door to you.
Yay!
Amazing. And it happened in a way that was totally unbelievable, but believable in the sense that the house wasn't listed for sale. It wasn't on the market. I had reached out like 6 months before. The guy wasn't interested. He didn't want to sell. And then I just kept doing the work as described in the workshop and kept at it, reached out again. And then he's like, the owner was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
And he reached out to you. I remember you didn't actually reach back out to him, right? Didn't he contact you again?
I had our realtor reach out again. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then, like, in a way, like, I didn't actually reach out. I think she asked me, like, hey, should I reach out again? I was like, yeah, you know.
So it came back around
it
to
did.
you.
Yeah. When the energies were right, when I was ready.
Yep.
And yeah, it's like perfect.
It's amazing.
Be next door
I know.
to my bestie and my sister, business partner.
Uh-huh.
And forming our tribe in the area.
Mm-hmm.
It's so supportive. I love the neighborhood. It's like,
oh, it doesn't get better. Like,
it's
if you want to live in a neighborhood, this is like the kind of neighborhood you want to live in my opinion.
Living in a neighborhood in the middle of nowhere, it's amazing. It's just gorgeous. The Gaia around here is amazing. It's just so perfect and resonant, and it was easy. It was full of ease. So manifesting the house was also fascinating because throughout the process of the workshop, I created a vision board, different than a feeling board, but I wanted specific items in the house that I wanted to manifest. How it looked, what kind of architecture it had, and, you know, furniture and things like that. After I bought the house a couple months later, I pulled out my vision board. And some of, like, the furniture I got and the fireplace, identical.
It was exactly the same.
Identical.
It was like, I remember taking a double take. I'm like, whoa.
What?
What? That's like, your fireplace and that bookshelf were exactly what was in that magazine.
Exactly. And another big part of it, this is the feeling board, was through Second Life.
Yep.
Where we were literally neighbors in Second Life.
We were.
I had this empty house next to yours for, like, a year that I never decorated by the beach.
Uh-huh.
And just for context, the house I ended up buying was a vacation home, so it was pretty much empty all year round. I think we saw like one person maybe in a year come over. So there was this empty house, literally. My house in Second Life, it was next to Ash and empty. And then I was like, I gotta change my focus, you know, put my energy somewhere else. So I put a different house in a different location that I got excited about. And funnily enough, the model in Second Life is very, very similar to the one that ended up being in real life. Mm-hmm. And it's just amazing, right? So there are all of these things that just came together, and it was just fabulous. Yeah. Interestingly, my second manifestation item was directly connected to the house. So the day I signed my papers to close the house, I come home and there is this puppy dog sitting in my front yard.
Well, and your allies were with you, if you remember.
That was the second day. But yes.
That's right. We're right.
Yes. The day I signed the papers, the neighbors had basically found this stray dog. And they were taking her out for a walk. And immediately, the neighbor across the street was like, so, your house is one of the only neighborhoods with a fenced yard. I was like, I see what you're doing. And then the next day, the whole tribe shows up to help me cleanse and sage the house. And she's literally sitting on the front lawn.
PB just starts, like, tripping out. And she's barking. I'm like, what is going on? So I step out the kitchen, and I look out, I'm like, oh, my God, Kara, you have a dog in your front yard. And she's so cute and sweet. She's not barking. She's just sitting there. She just looks like this pretty girl. Just really good sit. Like, hi, who are you? Do you want to be my friend? Mm-hmm. So cute.
Yep. And turns out some tourists picked her up on the side of the road. Our neighborhood, I guess, was the closest. Who knows how far away it was from wherever. And she was wild, like completely untrained, not housebroken, trying to escape. She probably had like some stuff with either her former owner or just was a stray. Who knows? But it was not good, whatever it was. She was not in a good state. But then I was looking at her and I was like, wait a minute. Did I just instantly manifest a puppy dog?
I know. I remember too, in the moment, you almost were like, no, guys, like, I don't know. I don't need a dog, or I don't remember what it was. It was like that moment of hesitation. But your allies were with you. And we're like, well, I mean, it's your first day in your new house, and here's this cutie pie who just shows up, like, has nowhere to go. Randomly. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, if you don't take her, I'm taking her.
I think you saying that prompted me to do it.
I'm pretty sure it did, because you were like, okay, let's go talk to them. Let's go talk to the people who found her.
I know. Yeah, and then, like, no chip, and no one knew where she came from, and it didn't seem like it was a good situation for her. And if you know, like, if we didn't end up keeping her, probably would have, like,
ended
put
up
her
at
in
the pound.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
Yep.
And it was a perfect orchestration from Gaia, because one of the things that I needed, and part of my manifestation with the feeling, was I needed a dog to keep me active, like get me outside and going for walks, and that companionship, like physical body connection.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be alone in a house all by myself. And it was like Gaia, like, showed up and was like, here you go. And the dog collective was like, oh yeah, we've got one for you. And boom.
Yeah.
It was all lined up perfectly. So it's like that, you know?
Yeah.
I'd done the work. I, like, figured out what kind of feeling I wanted in a dog. Like the temperament and the size and the experience, the lifestyle I wanted, and boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
The only thing I wish I had done was maybe be a little bit more specific in the list. That was one of my to-do items, is like make a list of the qualities of the dog that I wanted. I didn't actually get around to it.
Yeah.
So she has some quirks that I was like, dang it. I should have been a bit more specific on.
But ultimately, she's a lover, and she definitely gets you out and exercising and moving. And
yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So
she's so cute. And she's come a long way, being that she was stray on her own for so long. Who knows how long. And now is house trained. I mean, gosh, she's so well behaved.
Yeah, she's so much better.
Yeah.
Definitely not as crazy.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
Yay. Another manifestation item.
Yep.
Check.
Instantly manifested. And that's kind of what happens, right?
Yep.
If you want it and you allow it, the human collective and Gaia will come up with very creative ways of delivering it to you. Sometimes literally to your doorstep.
Yep. It's true. It's very true. It's very true.
That was pretty amazing. But yeah, it's doing the work, right? Going through the steps, like described in the workshop, and spending the time and figuring out, what do you really want and why?
Well, and I think that's a really key part to this too. It's because, you know, the key to success is having that good counsel and good allies. And through the Instant Manifestation Workshop, we definitely get that with one another and with facilitators. And that's fantastic. But it doesn't take you anywhere unless you're willing to do the work. And this is a workshop. It is advanced. So it does mean that, you know, we're spending time to this. We're committed. We're putting in that energy, but it works. Like the process works if you work it, you know?
Yeah.
But just like anything, if you don't do anything with it and you just let it sit and collect dust on the bookshelf, well, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change.
Totally. And it's so important it's almost like be responsible for your life, you know, and be proactive and really figuring out, like, what is it that you want? And is it stuff that you can just buy? Like, yeah, I bought a house. That was something I wanted. Money bought it. It's true. And that's great, because I really wanted the feeling of having my home and my safe space, my sanctuary, you know, and putting down roots and being in a neighborhood where I could thrive and grow old with my sis, you know, and have our families together and all these things. So in a lot of ways, it, like, wasn't about the money in a way. Like, yeah, it was like purchasing this house was definitely part of it, but the feeling and the real reason behind it was so much more than just like, oh, I want a place to live.
Yep.
It's like, where can I really thrive and embody the new paradigm? And it's a great step, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And it's you know, it's kind of like my terrible frog analogy, you know. It's like I could just have any husband and, you know, start a family, but
it'd be nice if, like, you like the guy.
Yeah, and like, hey, maybe we'll do work together in the future. And he's like totally into the iBenz method, and he's a walk with me now tribe member already. And you know, so there's so much more that now it becomes my whole life gets to be shared and enjoyed with one another rather than just a part of it. You know, so for me, it's more of a rich, fulfilling manifestation to flourish rather than just like the next opportunity that shows itself.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah. Another big focus for me, and I think a lot of people in the workshop too, actually, is a focus on wealth lines. And it's something that I think is very interesting. We've been looking at it with Inelia. It's like there's still a big focus on wealth lines. And like, why is that? And it feels like we especially as light workers, but even like as individuals or even as groups, it's like almost like our soul is like craving nurturing food as in like beautiful creations like art, and the knowing for our physical bodies that things are taken care of, and being surrounded by high frequency objects and people and things, and right now we are still in a paradigm on the planet where money is the means to those ends in a lot of ways. And in a lot of ways, like, we're just not quite there yet. And that's okay. So for me personally, I've been focusing a lot on wealth lines and doing all the exercises, like reconnecting with the spirit of money, clearing your wealth lines class. That class is amazing. Meditation, that is amazing. And being diligent with the chi behind it, which is really the connection with Gaia, and allowing that nurturing chi to come forth into our lives and support us. And that's been an ongoing thing, but just looking back in the last year from where I started with the workshop to where I am now, and it's like, wow, I have all these new wealth lines I had no way of predicting. Like cryptocurrency, did not see that coming. Could barely like figure out what is it, how does it work. It was so foreign, in a lot of ways. And it just so happens at the workshop we had like a cryptocurrency expert who was an attendee. And then, long story short, Walk With Me Now had like a lot of people interested and created a cryptocurrency like study group, more or less, and an exploration group. And we're like figuring it out as a tribe.
And exploration's still happening.
Exactly. And figuring it out as a tribe is like so much easier than doing it alone. And it's fun. It's super fun. Like just this last week we were playing like a Pass the Crypto game to like get comfortable with some of the tools and stuff. And it's just another wealth line we didn't even know about last year, and here it is right now. It's so cool.
Yeah, when Inelia had shared that with us, like her seeing on the kind of that craving, that hunger for beauty and beautiful things, and having that experience and it manifesting through that desire for money. Because right now in the paradigm we're in, money makes that beauty and access to these things more possible. Like it really resonated, because when we talk about instant manifestation and manifesting what money can't buy, I mean, we've already shared some stories exactly that of what money can't buy. But even the wealth part, it's like it does feel very tied to that. The wealth isn't necessarily just to have money, right? Like I don't know anybody who wants money just to have it, to say that they have it. It's more the wealth brings in the experience of X, Y, and Z that we want to have, and that, oh my gosh, in the last year, the feeling of being wealthy, the expanding of wealth lines in my life has totally opened up. And I'm still doing work on it even now, of course I haven't hit my goal, but it's still, it continually surprises me when something comes up and oh, this expense is here, and now it's like unexpected, and boom, oh, there's the money for it. Oh, cool, that's amazing. Like it just it's really nice to be able to see and be aware as these manifestations are coming up and how it unfolds, and that ease around it.
Yeah, because chi is the ability to do, right? And as light workers, as high frequency beings on the planet, embodying the new paradigm, like, wow, what could we do? What things will we create with that abundance in all areas of our lives? Like, it's just amazing. So it's an exciting time, and a lot has changed just in such a short time. It's going to be incredible to see what comes in the years, months and years ahead too. But yeah, so grateful. A lot of the exercises even are in the workshop are specific to like opening up new wealth lines and being proactive and processing your stuff on it. And,
Right.
And when you do it together as a group and you've got like accountability, you know, of like, okay, open up new wealth lines right now. Okay, tribe. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this, you know.
Yeah.
It's different and sometimes just fun, you know, to do it together as well and cheer each other on.
Yeah, and it's cool because I think now in the last few weeks we've seen at least 2 different instant manifestation workshop like prep study groups form. Like, so groups forming to do all the prep work together in order to be able to be prepared to do the instant manifestation workshop, which is incredible because that's the kind of energy that this workshop is. Proactive, doing it, right? And those are the types of instant manifestors we want to be manifesting with.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's student run, right? Like, these are individuals who took the time and space and energy to organize themselves and go, hey, let's run a study group. And there's like, gosh, over 20 people, maybe more. Yeah. 17 of them are Romanian and doing a Romanian focused like group, which is amazing. So cool. And it's that, like you said, that kind of energy, because the bigger why of all of this is, you know, what would it feel like? What would it look like and feel like if we had 1,000 high frequency instant manifestors on the planet? Like, what could we do and achieve and embody and co-create together? Like, wow. And we're on our way, right? We're definitely on our way. So the more instant manifestors we have who know the tools, who are high frequency and consciously co-creating, then, you know, that's one believable way of creating the new paradigm and making it real today. Yep. And doing it, being
absolutely
active. So it's very exciting.
Oh, yeah. So if you're up for the challenge, do the work. But it can also be easy. I mean, fun challenge, I guess I look at it like, that's fun to me, doing the work. And anyway,
and doing it as a group too.
And doing it as a group.
Yeah.
Building a tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Registration ends on March 19th. So we've got a little bit of time left. Take this opportunity now while it's here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if you're not sure if you want to do the workshop or not, or commit to the time or whatever it is, we'd encourage you to look at the prerequisites and start doing those. Because since it is an advanced workshop, those are there for a reason. Like, those concepts and material are needed for the lectures and material that Inelia explores in the workshop and what we explore as in our lab groups. So it is important, but it's also a great way to get started. Even if you don't end up doing it, it's like the more work we do, even just baby steps or bit by bit, that's it. That's how we transform our lives and the reality we co-create together. So check it out. We have those listed on our website, and we're excited to co-create this together with you.
Oh, yeah. And then we get to hear everybody else's cool instant manifestation stories. I love it.
Oh, yes. Exactly.
It's always nice.
This time next year, what will we have manifested?
Oh, my gosh.
As a larger tribe and as individuals.
Oh, yeah. It's coming together. That's
is.
for sure. Yep. Okay, until next time.
See you soon.
See ya. Bye.